Kristaps Porzingis might be the first domino to fall in a potential Celtics shakeup. The Boston Celtics are standing at the edge of a cliff, and Kristaps Porzingis might be the first one pushed off. After a humiliating collapse against the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston is entering an offseason that feels less like a retool and more like a reckoning. The front office is staring down the barrel of a bloated payroll, a broken roster, and an injured superstar in Jason Tatum. If the Celtics want to stay afloat in the new world of the NBA's punitive second tax apron, they'll need to make hard decisions, and fast. And the most logical sacrifice, Kristaps Porzingis. Let's be clear, Porzingis is not just tradable, he's expendable. Yes, he stretches the floor. Yes, he protects the rim, but his body is a ticking time bomb. In 2 years with Boston, he's played in just 99 of 164 regular season games. During last season's most critical stretch, when the Celtics needed him healthy, he vanished. Not due to a visible injury, but due to what insiders described as an undiagnosed illness. For a franchise built on championship expectations, the phrase game time decision can no longer be its default posture for a $30 million player. And then there's the math. Boston's payroll is spiraling into absurdity. If they stand pat, they'll be on pace for over $500 million in salary and tax penalties next season, an amount that could cripple flexibility for years. The new CBA punishes overspending teams with a brutal lack of trade tools and future maneuverability. Shedding Porzingis' expiring $30.7 million deal would be the first real step toward financial triage. But the Celtics aren't just trying to save money, they need to evolve. Their offense, despite gaudy regular season numbers, once again fell apart under postseason pressure. Opposing defenses exposed a lack of ball movement, stagnant isolation sets, and over-reliance on outside shooting. Porzingis, a big man who often camps at the three-point line and lacks consistent interior dominance, simply doesn't address those problems. He was a band-aid solution, and it's starting to peel. 3 trade destinations that could change the NBA landscape. 1. Los Angeles Lakers. Sources suggest the Celtics have explored a blockbuster with the Lakers involving Rui Hachimura and Maxi Kleber. On the surface, it's a shocking proposal. Celtics and Lakers, trade partners, but desperate times breed unlikely alliances. Boston would get 2 rotation-ready forwards, younger, cheaper, and easier to manage cap-wise. The Lakers, meanwhile, would finally find the unicorn big to flank Anthony Davis and support LeBron James for one last title push. In a league obsessed with wings and stretch bigs, Porzingis is a luxury the Lakers would pay for. Utah Jazz. This one's under the radar, but has real traction. Utah has long coveted Porzingis' skill set and could offer John Collins in return. It's a gamble. Collins is younger and more athletic, but still unproven in a playoff setting. For Boston, though, it's a move toward vertical athleticism and rebounding, 2 things they lacked badly down the stretch. For Utah, it's about acquiring a marketable name with upside and veteran presence for their evolving core. New Orleans Pelicans. With Zion Williamson's availability always in question, the Pelicans are hunting for front-court stability. Porzingis fits their timeline and offers rim protection and spacing, 2 areas they've struggled with. Boston, in return, could receive a package involving Kelly Olynyk, salary filler, and draft picks. It's not sexy, but it could be strategic. Retool the bench, clear cap space, and stock up for the post-Tatum future, if that future even exists. Trading Porzingis won't just be a cap move, it'll be a signal that Boston is pivoting away from the dream that this core, Tatum, Brown, and their ever-changing support cast, can deliver a title as currently constructed. Tatum's ankle injury has only accelerated this existential crisis. If he misses significant time next season, Boston needs flexibility, not fragility. Porzingis might still be an elite talent on the right night, but Boston no longer has the luxury of waiting for the stars to align. The Celtics are on the clock, and the next move might shake the Eastern Conference to its core. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Jrue Holiday's future in Boston, hanging by a thread, and the scissors are in Brad Stevens' hands. Don't let the confetti from the 2024 banner fool you. Boston is staring down a brutal offseason, and Jrue Holiday might be the first casualty. While the veteran guard played a pivotal role in stabilizing the Celtics on both ends of the court, his long-term future with the franchise is now clouded in uncertainty. The reason? Cold, hard, finances, and a front office that's not afraid to make cold, hard decisions. Let's cut through the sentiment. Holiday's age, contract, and cap hit are quietly becoming liabilities. He's owed nearly $140 million through 2028. That's a big number for a player who, while still elite defensively, saw his offensive role shrink to an afterthought behind Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derrick White. Stevens didn't extend Holiday out of charity, but he might already be regretting the price tag. Boston is teetering on the edge of the NBA's dreaded second apron, a punitive financial threshold. That doesn't just slap a team with extra taxes, it strips away flexibility. No mid-level exception, no buyout market deals, no aggregating salaries and trades. It's a straitjacket, and it only gets tighter. After Tatum's max extension kicks in, keeping Holiday might not just be inconvenient, it could be paralyzing. Now, layer in the biggest twist, Jason Tatum's Achilles scare. Even if it's not a full rupture, the mere shadow of that kind of injury changes everything. Boston may need to hedge its bets, rethink its timeline, or build depth instead of stacking stars. Suddenly, a 33-year-old Holiday with a ballooning contract starts to look more like a burden than a luxury. That's why names like Bogdan Bogdanovic and Drew Eubanks are surfacing in trade chatter. In a May 22nd column, Celtics insider Brian Robb floated a scenario sending Holiday to the Clippers in exchange for Bogdanovic, Eubanks, and rookie Jordan Miller. It's not a sexy trade, but it's surgical. Bogdanovic is a floor spacer on a shorter-term deal. Eubanks brings low-cost big man depth. Miller is a financial rounding error. None of them shift Boston's championship odds dramatically, but they could help the Celtics wriggle out of the financial vice grip that's tightening around them. The Clippers, meanwhile, are only a player or two away from salvaging the Kawhi Harden window. Holiday fits like a glove, providing defense, leadership, and playoff savvy, but even Steve Ballmer, who prints money like a central bank, might blink at the years left on Holiday's deal. That puts Stevens in a bind. Sweeten the pot or find another buyer. Let's be clear, dealing Holiday would not be a popular move. He's beloved in the locker room, he's battle-tested, and without him, Boston's perimeter defense takes a significant hit. But Stevens has shown he's not in the business of nostalgia. Just ask Marcus Smart. Holiday himself wants to stay. He said so in a May 16th interview. "We still have a great window to win. I want to be part of that." But championship windows don't stay open because of loyalty. They stay open because of ruthless efficiency. If keeping Holiday means slamming the window shut financially, the sentimental choice might not be the smart one. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Jrue Holiday may have helped Boston hang Banner 18, but if the Celtics want a shot at Banner 19 and beyond, he might need to be sacrificed. It's not fair, it's not romantic, but it's reality, and Brad Stevens is staring it right in the face. The Boston Celtics are heading toward a financial meltdown, and it might cost them their core. The Boston Celtics, a franchise known for its cold-blooded dominance on the court, is quietly careening toward a financial cliff that could redefine the next decade of their existence. Beneath the surface of a championship-contending roster lies a storm of luxury tax penalties and salary cap entanglements that may soon explode into full-blown roster chaos. Let's not sugarcoat this. Boston is on track to rack up an astronomical payroll bill that could approach $500 million once you include second apron tax implications. That's not just a budget issue. That's a full-scale organizational crisis. And just as the Celtics stare down this financial abyss, they've been blindsided by a brutal twist of fate. Jason Tatum, their franchise cornerstone, could miss most or all of next season due to an Achilles injury. If confirmed, this changes everything. We're not talking about retooling. We're talking about survival. There's a grim irony here. Just as the Celtics have built the deepest, most versatile roster in the league, they're faced with a cruel reality. The very success they've achieved has priced them out of sustainability. Under the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, second apron teams are severely punished. Gone are the days of stacking depth around stars without consequence. Now, every dollar over the line is a dagger, and Boston has knives everywhere. According to Adam Taylor of USA Today's Warriors Wire, a potential shakeup might already be brewing. His proposed trade would send Derrick White, one of Boston's most reliable and underrated two-way engines, to Golden State in exchange for Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, Trace Jackson Davis, and a lottery-protected 2027 first-round pick. It's a deal that makes your stomach churn if you're a Celtics loyalist. Let's be brutally honest. This isn't just a basketball trade, it's financial triage. White is arguably Boston's most intelligent backcourt defender and a key to their switch-heavy system. Trading him isn't about fit, it's about cap survival. Spot Rack's trade machine validates the logic, but emotionally, this would be a gut punch. So what would Boston get back? Payton II, a defensive menace, would ironically return to the team he helped conquer in the 2022 finals. Hield, a volume shooter with range but questionable defense, might slot into Joe Mazzulla's pace and space. Offense, Jackson Davis could be a long-term play, a rugged, switchable big who might eventually inherit minutes from the aging Al Horford. But none of these names move the needle like White does. This is a trade rooted in desperation, not aspiration. The Celtics aren't being proactive. They're being cornered. This is what the second apron does. It crushes depth, flexibility, and forces teams into bloodletting decisions. If White goes, he might just be the first domino. Don't be surprised if others, including Malcolm Brogdon or even Robert Williams III, follow out the door. The Celtics are about to become a case study in the brutal economics of winning in the post-2023 NBA. And the scariest part? All of this could unfold with their best player in a walking boot. The question isn't just whether Boston can stay competitive. It's whether they can stay intact. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Keep watching and leave a like.